Good morning. This is Dylan Jovanet with Behind the Markets. Happy Monday. Today's Monday, August 24th. It is the last week of the month. And today I'd like to talk about Walmart's earnings last week and what we refer to on Wall Street as the Walmart recession signal. The Walmart recession signal is this kind of secret signal billionaire investors like Jim Paulson use. And it's really, really good at predicting recessions and midterms because we have midterms coming up in November. And this is Walmart's last earnings report before the midterms. So this is a very, very telling, very important earnings report. Well, the Walmart recession signal has surged to its highest recorded level since the 2008 financial crisis. Very, very big deal. So what this tells us is that consumers, low-income consumers in particular, are feeling significant financial stress right now. And you could tell, the Walmart CEO basically said trade-offs among shoppers are, quote, getting a lot more obvious. So he's saying that his customers are really trading down from higher end things to lower end things or putting off purchases. They're making serious trade-offs. So, this is a big deal. And let me tell you something. When consumers are in a lot of pain, they stop spending money. Never forget, consumer spending is about 70% of economic growth. So when consumers cut back on spending, basically the economy slides into recession. Number one. Number two, when consumers are in this much pain, what that means usually is that the party in power loses the election, the next election. In this case, that is midterms. Now, what's really interesting also here is Walmart said that their own inflation costs came in at 1% to 2% a year. Basically, the cost that they pay their suppliers for items that they have on their shelves came in at about 1% to 2%, which is well below the 3.4% consumer price index that the rest of the world feels, okay? And that is because Walmart has the heft to push back on its suppliers and say, you better keep your prices really low, period. Like they really have the heft to push back and say, I want you to keep a lid on prices. But you see consumers starting to tap the brake. And a lot of the reason is because of energy costs. And it's interesting. You want to understand how the midterms are going to go, just look at the price of ground beef. My mom lives on a fixed income and she likes to cook us dinner Friday nights. And I bring my kids over. It's a whole thing, a whole family dinner, And I'll tell you something, meat and steak are getting smaller and smaller. And I understand why, okay? Ground beef just hit $7 a pound, which is ridiculous. And, this isn't just one grocery store having a bad week. The average price in all of July was $7.14 per pound. Now, last year in July, I have some figures here. The average price of ground beef was $6.25. July 2024, it was $5.50. July 2023, the average price of ground beef was $5.10. July 2022, $4.89. July 2021, $4.39. Basically, the price of ground beef has almost doubled in the past 5 years. It's unbelievable. Steak prices are getting hammered too. The average price of uncooked steaks climbed to about $13.58 a pound. So it's really, really interesting. This kind of pain that people feel at a grocery store that's driven by inflation, this kind of pain. Remember, shoppers, we go to the grocery store every week, maybe multiple times a week. And for a lot of us, for all of us, it's like a slap in the face every single week that we go into a grocery store. And when we have family dinners, like my mother, and she makes beef stew, her famous Hungarian beef stew, it has smaller and smaller pieces of beef in it, okay? And that really makes her feel bad. And when a lot of people feel bad, they feel that the current government isn't solving their problems, their financial problems, they vote for change. Now, my mom's not going to vote for change compared to the other side. The point is that there is a lot of anger building up, and this has significant implications for the economy, which is our business, but also the midterm elections, which is indirectly our business, because basically the parties in the future of the AI race will be determined a lot by these elections. It's kind of a very, very big deal. And never forget what I've told you many times in this channel. If you study the history of revolutions, whether it's the French Revolution, the Russian Revolution, even the American Revolution were about prices. If you look at the economics, they don't discuss this. When you look at these videos on YouTube, or you look elsewhere, you're reading about the history of this revolution. But leading up to the revolution, the fingerprints of inflation are always there. That is how people can vote for absurd, childlike philosophies like socialism. Proven, debunked, infantile, basically. Nobody actually thinks socialism works. Nobody with a brain, no thinking person thinks socialism works. The proof is in the pudding. But when you're in so much pain, you're just like anything, and those people are saying all the right things. We're going to take your pain away. We're going to take your pain away. You're going to take your pain away. It becomes like a cream. Imagine you had a terrible burn on your arm, and all it did was hurt all day long. At some point in time, you're going to listen to the person selling bunk, you know what I mean? The person selling, a silly cure. You listen to anything to take the burn, the pain of that burn away on your arm. This is how we get to socialism. Political philosophies like socialism are born during times where people have a lot of pain and they're just shopping for a cream to ease the pain, so to speak. If an infantile philosophy like socialism is gaining traction again in America, that tells you that people are hurting a lot. So it's easy to make fun of them and dismiss them. But when you see the price of beef has almost doubled in the past 5 years, you can understand why people are in pain, why they feel angry. And this is a significant warning sign for the economy and perhaps for midterm elections as well. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Have a wonderful Monday. I will see you tomorrow.